Hello gamers, this is Brain from GameBrain.media. This is a cold open of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I was going to try to play the Assassin's Creed games in order, but nobody seems to care. They're older games. And man, I was really wrapped up in Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And essentially that was the earliest period of time, or the first appearance of getting into this time travel, DNA, memory. It's not really time travel. Uh, it's really confusing, but you can go ask your favorite AI about Assassin's Creed time travel, or the Anubis, Anubis, I think it's called. Anyway, in this game, the year is 1715. Pirates rule the Caribbean and have established their own lawless republic where corruption, greediness, and cruelty are commonplace. Among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway. So I am going to just try to stream this on YouTube Live. So we're going to play just out of the box. We're looking at the launch page. It was really a pain in the butt to get this started. It started up by giving me it showed my CD key right on the page. Then you have to have the Ubisoft launcher installed, and then you have to sign into that. Then you have to paste your activation code from Steam into the Ubisoft launcher, and then it just was like, okay, so this really isn't my first opening of the game. I did go in and set the resolution and turn down the music, but that's all I've gone through so far. I wanted to also let you know that I have the gold edition. It doesn't say it up here, but if you scroll down and you look at Buy Assassin's Creed Black Flag Gold Edition, View Info, these things are all in my library. So I have the Death Vessel, I have whatever this is, Crusader and Florentine, and I have a Season Pass. So there's a ton more content. And like I said, I was going to try to go through and play the Assassin's Creed games in order, but really, when I went from Assassin's Creed Odyssey in ancient Rome, right? Or whatever that space was called. Oh man, that was just awesome. I was blown away. I loved it. So, chronologically in the game's history and series, the next move from Odyssey was to Origins. And I just couldn't get down with the sandy Egyptian environment, or whatever the hell it was. Haven't spent many hours in that game at all, but it is what it is. And now, let's go ahead and read about the game description in general, right? About this game, the year 1775, pirates rule the Caribbean and have established their own lawless republic where corruption, greediness, and cruelty are commonplace. Among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway. Now, in the Anubis, or whatever the time, the machine, okay, it's really hard to explain this, dude, if you've never seen this. Now, if you're familiar with it, you're bored with me already. But you are essentially, you have DNA, right? And your DNA carries all of the memories of all the people and all the lives that have ever come before you that are embedded in your DNA. And somebody has created a machine like a tanning bed. You lay down in the tanning bed and it taps into your head and reads your DNA, and you get to visualize what happened to those people in their lifetimes. But you also get to take control of their bodies. As I understand it, it really is a wonky, strange vehicle, but it does the trick for me. I can deal with it. At least they tried to explain it and give it some kind of, bearing in potential. But anyway, among these outlaws is a brash young captain named Edward Kenway. His fight for glory has earned him the respect of legends like Blackbeard, but also drawn him into the ancient war between assassins and Templars. Ah, yes, I forgot about those guys. Okay, so you are an assassin, and you are trying to defeat the Templars. The Templars are trying to rule the world, change the future. I don't know. I had that figured out once, but that's another good question. Go ask your favorite AI to explain Assassin's Creed war between assassins and Templars, or just explain Assassin's Creed and the Templars, and whatever you'll come up with some answer. But for this game, it's Welcome to the Golden Age of Piracy. This is far removed from, or far in the future from, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But that was really an absolutely outstanding story for me, and I played it obsessively for a long period of time. Do have a little playlist maybe on here, but it's such a gigantic game. I didn't do the whole thing, and I probably won't do this either, especially while I'm streaming because, or unless I can just play it and stream, and then I can just throw a bunch of videos at the wall. As long as I can control my mouth and not swear too much, I'd be pretty happy to do that. All right, so key features: a brash rebel assassin. You get to become Edward Kenway, a brash rebel assassin, a charismatic yet brutal pirate captain. Trained by assassins, Edward can effortlessly switch between the hidden blade of the Assassin's Order and the new weaponry, including 4 flintlock pistols and dual cutlass swords. Explore an open world filled with opportunities. Discover the largest and most diverse Assassin's Creed world ever created. Well, up until the time this game was released, and I believe we can find that up here. No, it's on the store page. Dagnabbit. Well, wait, we're on the store page. There it is. The release year is usually right here in this section. Well, what do you know? Oh well, we'll find that out later. So, continuing on, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, right? Key features: explore an open world filled with opportunities. Become the most feared pirate in the Caribbean. Yay! Now, honestly, reading some of this background material, it's kind of like reading lore when you're in Skyrim. You might gain a clue, and you might learn something. But okay, so let's labor through this. Honestly, I think it might be worth it because this is going to be a big game, big endeavor, and I want to know what's what. A brash rebel assassin, you get to be an Edward Kenway, a brutal pirate trained by assassins. And you get to switch between weapons, okay? Explore an open world filled with opportunities. Discover the largest, most diverse Assassin's Creed world ever. From Kingston to Nassau, explore 75 unique locations where you can live the life of a pirate, including loot underwater shipwrecks, assassinate Templars, yay, in blossoming cities, hunt for rare animals in untamed jungles. Ooh, that's interesting. Search for treasure in lost ruins. Escape to hidden coves. Become the most feared pirate in the Caribbean. Command your ship, the dreaded Jackdaw, and strike fear in all who see her. Plunder and pillage to upgrade the Jackdaw with ammunition and equipment needed to fight off enemy ships. This is very much like upgrading your ship in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay, so the ship's improvements are critical to Edward's progression through the game. Attack and seamlessly board massive galleons, recruit sailors to join your crew, and embark on an epic and an infamous adventure. Oh, okay. I'm glad I read that because that is telling me that it's going to be a lot like playing Odyssey. They had the ocean warfare with these old sailing battleships, and it was pretty freaking cool. All right, so stand amongst legendary names such as Blackbeard, Calico Jack, and Benjamin Hornigold. As you establish a lawless republic in the Bahamas, you relive the true explosive elements that defined the golden age of piracy. All right, just a pro tip. I always find it slow and cumbersome to listen to my videos when I play them back and have to edit the video because, yeah, I sound like I talk slow. A buddy of mine tells me that, hey man, you can't rush through your videos. You're just trying to push. You're going too fast. People can't keep up with you. And I'm like, I think they can. That's why I recommend that a lot of people play the game or play a video back at 1.5x speed or even double X speed. There's some old gamers down south that I watch sometimes, and boy, I tell you what, it takes a real long time to listen to their video because they talk so damn slow. So I always run their videos in 2x speed. I suggest you run mine in at least 1.5x. So there you go. The best Assassin's Creed multiplayer experience to date. That they're claiming that that is what this is. Now this was released, I think, before Odyssey came out, but so maybe the Ocean Warfare is not even going to be as good as Odyssey. I'd have to look at, dude. It's really a convoluted timeline to look at the Assassin's Creed saga. There's 11 games in this, or more than that. And then you throw in a bunch of wrinkles of DLC. So, anyway, let's look at the recommended system requirements. An Intel Core i5 2400, 2.5 gigahertz or better. Okay, so we certainly meet that. We have a Ryzen 7 3700X, 64 gigs of RAM, an M2 operating system drive, an SSD for some games that I've played, and not this game. This game's on a spinner hard drive, which is a 6 terabyte Western Digital black. And we have a 3070 video card with only 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm trying to save up and get a fundraiser going to buy that game. Oh, here's Odyssey. Man, I'd really like to know what year that was made, but we're going to skip that for now and look up here at the Gold Edition. View the info. These are the things you get. Now, let's look at the Season Pass. The Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag Season Pass will give you access to exclusive Kraken ship pack. A new 3-hour single-player story. Oh my gosh. Really? Dude, I might be gone for a long time because I fell in love with Odyssey and I played it and played it and played it. And when I got bored, I would jump in, blow a few laps through one of the racing games that I do play and love. And you can find more info on that at GameBrain.media-racing. I am segmenting my YouTube efforts into channels because Al Gore, who can't dance because he ain't got no rhythm, get it? Al Gore ain't got no rhythm, but I don't want a blue check box under like, oh, you said something about Al Gore that isn't true and we're gonna fact check your video. So whatever, they gave that to me once, so I just deleted the video. I ain't gonna play with that crap. All right, so anyway, blah 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 about this content. 3 hours of single player story, an ex-slave turned assassin, plus multiplayer characters and more. Only available to Season Pass owners. This pack includes a sail, wheel, and figurehead inspired by the legendary sea monsters known for swallowing ships, men, and whales. Woohoo! That sounds interesting. The giant squid. Born a slave, your name would be Adwell, or Adawal. Found freedom as a pirate aboard the Jackdaw. Oh, so you're not going to be playing as the captain, you're going to be playing as one of the pirates, where he became Edward Kenway's second in command. Aha! Now, 15 years later, Adwale has become a trained assassin who finds himself shipwrecked in Saint Dominique or Domingue without weapons or crew. He starts to meet locals in an effort to assemble a crew and steal a ship. The more he helps, however, the more he is drawn into the maroon slave community. Forced to face his past, Adwale sets out to free the slaves and bring death to their captors. Over 3 hours of new single-player gameplay. More multiplayer mayhem. It unlocks new characters for multiplayer. Wow. Okay, so that's all really cool stuff. And let's bounce back to the main game page where we will play now. And it's going to launch Ubi. And since I've already logged into Ubisoft, here we are. Inspired by historical events and characters, this work of fiction was designed, developed, and blah, blah, blah. But I tell you what, I'm looking forward to having a very good time with this game. This is more or less going to be a test of the in-game sound effects, my voice volume, and how I have begun wearing my headset, because somebody said it sounded like I was eating my microphone, and somebody else said I wasn't loud enough. So I have constant problems with the audio. The game sometimes is ridiculously loud, and then it blows out my voice. So I'm going to play or try really hard not to speak over the top of the characters. But if you've watched any of my videos, you realize how difficult it is for me not to speak. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so when we do a cold open, I always like to go into the options and have a look at what we have. In sound, like I said, I always have to turn down the music volume so you don't get a copyright strike. Because, yeah, the people who made the volume, the music for the menu system will file copyright constraint or complaints against you and claim monetization over your video. It's insane, but it is what it is. Blood on English is the language. We want to turn the subtitles on. Subtitle language is English, and that's that. Now let's go back to general and make sure that English, and subtitles are on. So it didn't force me to see when I changed the sound and the graphic settings. It said, "Do you really want to save your changes?" So general, I expected it to ask me, but it didn't. All right, so now the HUD. We're gonna leave everything on by default to start the game and get a handle on how things go here. Now controls. It's gonna be PC. Well, I'm playing on a PC, so if I look at, yeah, I'm just gonna get into it and feel our way through the controls. They should be like every other game, but there might be some oddness with what makes it easier to duck or crouch or go prone if you can, even in this game. I don't remember. Now, for graphics, I came in here and I set the resolution. I'm running a 3840 by 2160, which is considered ultra high def. It is not truly 4K, but a lot of people refer to it as 4K. It looks awesome, I gotta tell you. I'm on a 55-inch Vizio TV. It's got a 60 hertz refresh rate. Not the best monitor in the world, but I gotta tell you, I would rather play at this 3840 2160 at 60 hertz than 1080. Yeah, 1920 by 1080. Any day, every day. And yeah, I did turn off VSync. It's off, but I'm locked at 60, 61, 59 FPS. Now we're just sitting here on a menu. So once we get in the game, we might suffer some stuff. And I did up the PhysX particles. It was on 0. And maybe that's because, isn't PhysX part of the NVIDIA card life thing? And then this too, TXAA. I don't know if I should be on MSAA, but we'll see. If I'm struggling in frames, I'm going to come back in here. Oops, that got changed. I'm going to come back in here and mess around. So now I'm going to escape, but I don't want to change any of the options. Okay, I didn't change any of the options. All right, now I'll escape again, and we will start a new game. But before I do that, let's go back here to options and look for, in general, subtitles, spoken language subtitles, blood. I'm fine with the blood. What I was looking for was general game settings that would determine the difficulty. Maybe that happens when I launch the new single-player game. Maybe they'll ask me to put in a custom name and stuff like that. So that's it for now. I am just going to stop here because I want to check my stream and check the volume and make sure that it's coming through and everything works. Up here at the top of the screen, I do see the OBS was working and recording, and here we go. I'll be back shortly with another episode if everything works out. If not, then I'm going to mess around with my volume settings and probably get mad and not play. Or I'll play, but I just won't stream. You know, it's a pain in the butt, dude, I'm telling you. Bye.